Tales of the Jedi finally dropped today, and we received 6 short-form animated episodes, 3 that follow a younger Dooku, and 3 that follow Ahsoka Tano. Before I get into the stories themselves, let me just say this. The animation quality was beautiful, from the models to the particles, just stunning all across the board. Star Wars animation continues to blow my mind year in and year out, and I'm glad this section of Star Wars keeps churning out interesting projects. But while the animation was perfect, the stories, this is where I feel that Tales of the Jedi hits a bump in the road. And I fully acknowledge that it is incredibly difficult to tell a complete, well-rounded story in 10 to 15 minutes. You can't really develop many characters, and events are just gonna naturally feel rushed. Tales of the Jedi absolutely had this problem all across the board, particularly I felt in the Ahsoka episodes. But let's start with the Dooku episodes first, because I do think those were the stronger episodes. I have been dying for some Dooku content, some young Dooku content. We got the novel Master and Apprentice, which had some Dooku and Qui-Gon chapters in it, as well as Dooku Jedi Lost, which I still may or may not need to read, but finally, we get to see a young Dooku on screen. And in these 3 episodes, we kind of are provided with an outline as to what led to his fall from legendary Jedi to Sith Lord, and I think these episodes did a nice job with that. The first 2 exposed Dooku to the corruption of the Republic, which formed the foundation of his belief system, while the 3rd episode depicted the immediate aftermath of his fall. And it was this 3rd episode that I found to be the most interesting of the 3, and I view it as the strongest episode in the series.
Spoiler warning.
We learned that Dooku was actually courted by Palpatine even while Maul was still alive and during the events of the Phantom Menace, which is insane, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that yet, but if anything, it makes Maul's story more tragic, as it is evident now that Palpatine was all set to move on from him and take Dooku on as his apprentice. He never planned for a future with Maul, which sucks for Maul. I mean,
it's not you, Maul, it's me. Lose my number, by the way.
I also love seeing how truly saddened Dooku was at the loss of Qui-Gon Jinn, and even how pointedly he blamed Sidious for it. This display of raw emotion adds a whole new layer to Dooku that I really enjoyed. And then Yaddle, who does not speak with backwards sentence structure, so I guess Yoda is just an asshole for doing that, confronts Dooku and tells him that he's right about the Jedi Order and offers to help him the good way and not in the betraying and eventually causing the deaths of everyone you know way. This was another brilliant scene that I thought kind of paralleled the choice that Anakin has to make between Windu and Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. And much like Anakin does almost 15 years later, Dooku chooses Palpatine. He kills Yaddle, which explains why we never see her again after the Phantom Menace. The power of this scene having taken place in a short-form episode is downright incredible, because honestly, it did what the Clone Wars was never able to do with Dooku. One of my only gripes with the Clone Wars was its handling of Dooku. He was pretty much just a bad dude in the show. The nuance and moral grayness that he appeared to have in Attack of the Clones was all but gone. But the Tales of Jedi expanded upon that, and in his final scene with Yaddle and Palpatine, we see a man who genuinely wanted to do good, pulled too far into the darkness that was already within him. What these 3 episodes really did was make me crave more young Dooku content. I wish that we could get an animated show that follows him and Qui-Gon Jinn, so that Dooku's fall is even more fleshed out, because that's what we didn't get to see. We didn't see his first contact with Palpatine and his decision to join the Sith. I would love a series that builds up to that and shows that. Now let's talk about the other 3 episodes, the Ahsoka episodes. I want to lead with the fact that Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters. She's a top 3 character for me, and I didn't dislike these episodes. I just felt that they were kind of superfluous. I didn't really feel like we learned anything new about Ahsoka, with the biggest revelation being that she was able to survive Order 66 because of the rigorous training that Anakin pushed her through. The baby Ahsoka episode was cute, but in a series that only has 6 episodes, I'd have rather seen something more impactful. And remember how I said that the pacing of these episodes would naturally feel rushed earlier? Well, that was never as obvious as it was in the final episode of the series. It basically took the Ahsoka novel and broke it down into a very, very basic plotline. And it didn't even show how Ahsoka took the lightsaber crystals from the Inquisitor's lightsaber and purified them to make her new white lightsabers. It, and the Ahsoka episodes as a whole, just, in my mind, left a lot to be desired. I'd have much rather had 3 more Dooku episodes, or Young Windu episodes, or Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan episodes. Am I alone in feeling this way, or do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments down below because I really am curious about this. Overall, I'd give Tales of the Jedi a 7 out of 10. I thought that for what it was, short form animated episodes, it was pretty solid. There were moments in the Ahsoka episodes that I enjoyed, but for the most part, it was the Dooku episodes that held the majority of my interest. But what would you guys rate it? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you liked this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing for shorts and more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I will see you in the future.